Well, welcome everybody to our team monthly Zoom. So thank you, Lauren, for letting me get on and chat it up this month. I appreciate that. So thank you. And what else? Let's see. I had a couple other things I wanted to. Oh, I'll just introduce myself. Willow, I don't know if you know who I am. I'm Krissy Potucek. I have been a coach for almost 3 years in November. I live in Warren, Minnesota, and I have two boys, Blaze and Blair, 14 and 9, and I have two dogs, Lucy and Lulu. Got to mention them. And the late Luke. Got to mention him too. So anyway, so that's a little bit about me. I'm going to dive right into my notes. So basically what I wanted to talk about tonight was limiting beliefs and then just believing in your vision. And those are two probably of the biggest topics that have maybe been a little bit more of a struggle for me. So when I was asked to speak this month, it was like I should probably talk about these things. So basically I wanted to talk a little bit about, we'll start with limiting beliefs. So I'm going to start you on like a journey right now. So like you all know, or like when you're practicing for your driver's test, you were all, driving and, you've got your blinker, you got your steering wheel, you've got your rear view mirror, you got all these things, and it was overwhelming on how you were driving. You were learning, it was all new concepts, all new, you got to focus on this and focus on that, and just very overwhelming. But as you get older and you drive more frequently, your subconscious automatically does it. Like have you ever gone to a place where you're like, how did I get here? Or you've gone to a place that you always kind of go to, like a store or whatever, but you need to stop somewhere in between. And you totally forget and you go on that same routine every day. I have done that. And so it really made me think about our subconscious and how it is working 24/7. So basically with the limiting beliefs, if you believe that you cannot work a business on your own, if you believe that you're not good enough, or you're afraid of failure, or you're afraid of maybe even success, or just some of the things, you may not have to say it out loud, but your subconscious is going to mimic that daily. It's going to guide you to that, especially if you don't believe it, because our subconscious is very powerful. That's how our our hearts can beat. That's how we can move. That's how everything. So if you don't fuel your body with our workout programs and everything that we do and good food, and then fuel your mind with all the personal development, these trainings and so forth, it's going to be a struggle to move forward in this business. You might be able to limp by in day-to-day life, but you are not going to really be your true self and find your truth if you allow those behaviors to just creep in. So some of the things that I have done to help that is by surrounding myself with positive, like-minded people. So that meant that I had to go through basically my friends list, and if it didn't feel good or if I didn't feel right about the situation, I had to remove myself. Was it hard at first? Yes, and Lauren can contest to that. But it was toxic. They were toxic friends. Not that I can't have them as friends. It's just I needed to learn how to put boundaries around those people. So I really worked very hard on that. And then personal development. That was something that I, at first, kind of pretended like I needed it, and then really realized that I need it. I just needed it 110%, just because I was stuck. I was stuck in my personal life. I was stuck in my business. I was stuck with my family, like just different areas of my life. And so it just really became, how do I want to word it? It became like a slap in the face, basically, that I needed to focus on personal development, because I just kind of felt like all personal development, big deal. I mean, it's not going to work anyway, kind of an attitude. And so I pushed against it. And it was huge for me. It was a big slap in the face where my business wasn't moving forward. And so it was definitely something that I needed to dive into. And with that, so diving into myself, diving into the personal development, I'm confident. I feel better. I know where I'm going with my business. I have a vision. I have a vision board. I have all of these things now because I believe that I can do it. I took that limiting belief out and truly believe that I can do this business and I can provide for my family and provide for other people. I can help them provide for their family. So, but I had to get real. And then one of the other things was I had to let go of some vulnerability with my Facebook. I'm adopted, and I know that some of you know that, some of you don't. And one of the areas where I was very conflicted was talking about my adoption because I didn't want to hurt my mom, my birth mom, and then I didn't want to hurt my adoptive mom. So I was conflicted in this war of saying too much on Facebook, not saying enough, but wanting to provide value for people that follow me and my friends and whatever that could find support through my adoption story. But I struggled, very much so struggled with that because I was very conflicted on both sides. If I said too much over here, is my mom going to be upset? If I did this, is, Krissy going to be upset? And so I had to finally just, A, talk to both of them. And then B, I had to realize that my story was just as important. Their stories were fine, but my story was important. I needed to share what it felt like for me to be adopted. I needed to share what it felt like for me to be given up for adoption, for me to be living with another family, for me to go through a childhood of just kind of not really knowing who I was and feeling like I wasn't a part of this family. So that was a huge limiting belief. And so with Facebook, what we talk about, and so a lot of the trainings that you've been in, we talk about get vulnerable, get vulnerable, get vulnerable, share your story, la, la, la. And I held back. I really held back for fear of rejection, hugely fear of rejection. And so it took me about 7 years, but within the last 2 years, working on my personal development, that's when I've been able to actually finally talk to my mom, my birth mom, and actually tell her that I was mad at her. So that's a long ass time to live with that limiting belief, but I did. I worked through it. And with my adopted mom, that's kind of just I just am like, I'm going to start talking about some of this stuff. And, if you don't want to read it, you don't have to read it, but I need to help people. I truly believe that I'm meant to be on this earth to help people. That's why I went into medical. I just kind of took a different path, and that's okay. Everybody's path is different. It just brings you to your center, and where my center is right now, right here, right now. And so I truly believe that story should help people and can be support for other people. So I got through that limiting belief. But I had to realize that it was important for me to share that. I truly feel with the messages that I got from that I saved a few people. Like I truly saved some people's lives with that post, like getting real, getting open about that. And I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about this because I don't think we understand the power of our words, the power of what we say on Facebook and how it can really help somebody. We see the sales over here. We see Beachbody here. We see whatever over here. But what we have is such an amazing story that we have to believe that somebody on the other side of that screen needs it. But you have to believe in yourself to be able to do that. You have to trust yourself to be able to post that. And it does get a little kind of crazy in your, like physically and whatever. But when you get the messages that you saved some people or that you helped them overcome something, it's the greatest gift that God could have given me. My power of my word, my power of my struggles is the greatest gift that I've been given, to be able to share that with other people, to be able to help other people. Take away the beach body, take away everything else. Be you, but be authentically you. Okay? That conflict is tough and you have to work with it, but that's why we have this team. That's why we have Lauren. That's why we have whoever your upline is. That is why we are here. That's why we do these conferences or these video chats, to really help each other, to guide each other on that direction, be that support. And honestly, ladies, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be as strong as I am today, because you guys have all helped me be the person that I am today. But that's the importance of surrounding yourself with your people. Like, all of you on here are my people. And that's huge. That is very huge for me, because I only allow certain people in. I put boundaries up. I can have acquaintances. You can all have acquaintances. But I just allow certain people in because I have an energy that I want to uphold. I have a vibration that I want to stick with. And if it feels yucky to me, then we're just an acquaintance. But usually your gut can tell you. So that's a little bit about limiting beliefs and just a fear of rejection, failure, that kind of stuff. And I had to get really clear on my vision as well. I don't want to skip over anything here. So, Okay. Sorry, had an interruption. So when I started, I have now realized that I took massive action to work on my health. That was honestly my vision. I did not, understand the business. So all of you people that are coming in new or feeling overwhelmed or this or that or whatever, work on you. Work on you, okay? And I'm going to say that one more time. Work on your health. Everything else will organically fall into place where it needs to be, okay? I felt like for a while I was doing something wrong. I felt like I wasn't moving my business forward fast enough, or I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I was maybe letting people down, whatever. But now I've realized that I was on a journey for my health, for my mental health, because I signed up at a very wrong time in my life. So everybody out there that gets a message from whoever saying, oh, I've got so much going on, I'm so busy, blah, blah, blah. You know what? If you want to make it work, you can make it work. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because I won't go into detail because that'll take us more than our hour here. But I knew I needed help. My help was, my lifeline was Lauren. Lauren, I prayed over that. I didn't even know anything about manifesting or really prayed that much or anything like that. And all of a sudden, Lauren came into my life. And that's where I just took that massive action. And I did. I devoted 2 years of, personal journey, growth, working out. And now, because I did that, I'm healthier. I'm more confident. I can handle the rejections that I get now, which is not a whole lot. Honestly, I have, since I've been diving back into the business in August, started a little bit in July. I've hit Success Club. I've added 4 coaches. Everybody that I've talked to have kind of gravitated towards me. And I feel easy enough now to talk about things. But if I wouldn't have gone through that personal journey and read all the books and realized that what I have is a gift, then I'm going to struggle. I'm going to be conflicted throughout my journey. I'm going to be conflicted and my business isn't going to go, at least for me, is not going to go where I want it to go. Now I know what I want. I have that vision. I have a clear vision. And I have worked on my health for 2 years. And now I can work out 5 days a week. I couldn't do that before. I've lost about 25 pounds. And now I'm just maintaining and toning different areas. I've realized foods are a huge trigger for me, which I had no clue before. So I have learned so much about my health. I've been able to reduce my meds. I mean, who can say that in 2 years when you have a severe chronic condition that you can actually reduce meds? So I took that massive action. So for all of you coaches that are new or maybe struggling, just not knowing where to go, my suggestion for you, if you're struggling, is work on you. Dive into yourself. Read a personal development book a week. Reach out to your upline. Ask for help, because that's what we're here for. That's why we work as hard as we do, so that we can help you. Because we are, just as much as you guys are kind of trying to figure shit out, we're working on ourselves to be the best leaders that we can be. So with that, it's just a domino effect. But you have to reach out. We can't, obviously read your mind. And at that time, I guess I'll just echo what I was just saying before. My biggest priority was, healing, personal development, my internal work and growth. And I feel like I have just grown crazy. I have. I can't even put it into words because I'm so excited. Even today when I wasn't feeling the greatest, I was still jotting down notes and, thinking about what I wanted to say, and the power of this call tonight, and how powerful what I'm going to say might help a coach. And so I took it I'm very proud, and I took it very personal tonight too about this. So I just kept working through that. And, I've realized that when I do have an up and down in my health, that I can get through it. Before, I don't know if I necessarily thought that. So let's see. Oh, I wanted to talk about, I also want to talk about too, that that when you're committed to your goals and when you're committed to action, and I really want to reiterate goal writing. It is huge. If you don't put it down on paper, your subconscious is not going to hear it. And if you don't read it at some point in the day, your subconscious is not going to work towards that. So that's another area where that limiting belief, that chatter, will go away if you read your goals every day. And if you go through your goals and you go through a gratitude list, you're going to set your mind up every day to work towards those actions subconsciously. You're just going to keep working towards it. So that is one thing, because these are my 5 monthly goals. I wrote them all out with an affirmation and how I'm going to do it and why. And I even drew a picture. Stick people, but I drew a picture. And I just feel like after I manifested over that and after I prayed and released it, I feel like now when I go back to it, it's like I look back at my day and I know that I did a majority of that stuff. I set myself up for success because that is in my head. That vision is on a paper. That goal is on a paper. So I just want to, make sure that you understand how important goals are. And then I also want to talk about too, that this is a journey. There's no start and end to this. There's no beginning, there's no middle, there's no whatever. This is a journey, and a journey towards setting yourself up for the freedom that you desire, setting yourself up for healing, setting yourself up to take care of your family, provide for your family. Whatever that looks like to you, that's what this is all about, is a journey of your life. And so don't get so focused on a deadline. We all have goals and they're great to work towards, but if you don't achieve it, it's not the end of the world, because everything that you did up to that goal still was working towards it. It just that timeline just gets extended a little further, and that's okay. Don't ever feel like you're a failure if a goal didn't happen. Set that goal because your subconscious is going to work towards it, but after it's gone, think of all the things that you did to get to that point. Now you're going to build on that momentum every time, every day. You're going to build on that momentum. So make sure that you realize that goals are great, but don't get so hung up on that deadline that you kind of self-sabotage yourself over it. So that's one thing, because I did that. I kind of went down that road too. I got some of my perfectionist skills came out, and yeah, that's not a good sign. So I had to kind of let go of that control. And once I did, the journey and waking up every day to work my business became so fulfilling. And working with people, I found the joy. I mean, I get to work from home in my pajamas, like, and I get to be with my kids when I choose, like when at work, all that stuff, not when it works, but you know what I mean? Like when I just get to choose it. And that's what's important. Let's see. How are we doing for time? Doing good? Okay. So, let's see. I think I've covered a lot of what I really wanted to touch on. Yeah, I think I've kind of covered it all. So Lauren, if anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. Oh, does anybody have any questions?
You said that was awesome, Krissy, from what he got to hear.
Thank you.
Oh,
I have like a lot of notes.
Really good.
I guess a question that I have for people who watch this, like, what are some books or what are some audios that you have found that have really helped, like, with your live and eat belief and like getting through that, I guess?
Well, definitely Tony Robbins. That has probably been the most recent, because we watched it while we were at Summit, and then I came home and rewatched it. And I have watched that one again a few different times, but I go to YouTube because he just gives a kick-ass. I mean, he just kicks your butt, and just makes you realize that if you want change, you got to work for it. Mm-hmm. And that, that your past makes you who you are, but it doesn't define you, And so that one's probably been a huge one. The Power of the Unspoken Word has been a huge book for me. And then probably anything with Amanda Francis or Gabby Bernstein have really been, they've been really good. Like that's probably where I started working on a lot of my limiting beliefs that I didn't even think I had. I didn't even realize I had a fear of rejection until I started working, and I'm like, holy shit, where'd that come from? So I would suggest those ones. And Amanda has a lot of YouTube stuff. So does Gabby, a lot of free content. I did do their trainings, but I think they're all closed right now. So if they do pop up, or if you start following them, I would recommend following them because they give a lot of free content. Courtney, you have Amanda and Gabby. Maybe you can, because we've kind of read a lot of the same books.
I just took it back away. It's called 20. Hang on, let me grab it real quick.
I just fed them though, like at 7:30. You just wanted to hang out with mom and the girls, or what? Grace.
Hi, Grayson. Oh. Hi, baby.
What are you looking at?
He's looking at something. Dead.
What are you looking at?
Hi. He's just like infatuated with the computer.
I don't even think he's looking at the computer. I think he's looking like, I don't.
Okay, I can't find it. Oh. I don't know where Jackson put it. Okay, my child has misplaced it. But it's called like 21 Ways to Transform Your Life, and it's Shannon something. And I know I have
post it in the group later today, or post it in the.
Yeah, that I swear I wish I would have had that like my 14-year-old self, like before, because it has a lot of to let go of stuff, things that don't serve you purpose anymore. That one's been one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm trying to think of the other one. Oh, there's so many. I should just take a picture of my collection. But that's been probably my favorite book I have read ever.
Shoot.
You should, Courtney, you should post a picture of it when you find it in the group.
I will. I think yeah, I will. I've taken plenty of pictures. I just wish Jackson would have not moved it. And we're in the middle of construction, so he probably is. If it's not Thomas the Train, he is like, yeah. Hi, Krissy. Hi, baby.
Oh, what? Something on the floor is like super
fascinating.
What? Where did Krissy go? Did she go get something?
I was looking for a bit. So this is The Power of the Unspoken Word. It's a really short read. Well, I couldn't find my book that was, oh shoot, what is it? A lot of us have read it. I'll have to look for it. I know I've talked about it in the group. This is my new one that
I just got. I ordered that one. It's in my cart right now.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't started it yet. But you know how Amazon like tags books that are like similar to what you've gotten? Because I have pre-ordered right now the new Gabby Bernstein one. So that one should be coming pretty soon. But this one, I'm gonna stop recording now because I think we're good.